Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke. We have a very important topic for today's show, and I have to make the show short, really short, because I've got a lot of work to do today, and I have very little time to get it done. But anyways, today's show's topic is these anti-ICE protesters that are causing havoc at ICE facilities. So let's get right into this. Very recently, I'm sure you've all been seeing this, that especially like in the state of New Jersey, these anti-ICE protesters have been causing havoc at these ICE facilities. So now local police departments have been helping out, and they've been setting up perimeters now. Perimeters into which there's a certain section that's being set for where the protesters can be, and it'll give enough space for the people who work in the ICE facilities to come in and out nice and safely and do their jobs and do what they got to do. And now these anti-ICE protesters are saying, well, this is against our rights, but they're not letting us protest. But that's not the truth at all. They are letting you protest. You've got a specific section to where you guys can be to do your protest. And, that's the right way of doing things. Now, this should have been done from the very beginning like this, okay? And our elected officials up in Washington, D.C., they need to set the rules and regulations to where, because these ICE facilities are federal property, just like post offices are, okay? They're all federal government property. So what our elected officials up in Washington, D.C., they need to say, for all the ICE facilities, wherever they are, there's going to be certain barriers, and there's going to be certain sections for where the protesters can do their protest, right? Because that's their legal right to do. And that way it'll give enough space for the workers that work inside the facilities to come in and out safely and whatever. And they need to also stipulate it in the law. I'm talking about the elected officials in Congress. They need to say that if any of the protesters go beyond the barriers, then they ought to be arrested. And if any of them are in fact U.S. citizens, then those people will be put in federal government prisons. And if any of them are not U.S. citizens, then they will be automatically deported, no questions asked. End of story. So, two wrongs do not make a right, okay? So wherever you go in life, there's always going to be rules and regulations, no matter where you go in life. And it doesn't matter whether you like those rules and regulations or not. Doesn't matter. So, you don't like it? Too bad. And and for any of these protesters that are going to say, like, we're not going to obey the rules and regulations, well, then you guys get caught, and you guys get either put into a federal government prison cell, or you get deported, and that's it. Your life is over. You're done. You're finished. So, seriously, like I said, it should have been set up like this a long time ago. But Congress needs to act, and they need to act fast and get this law passed that will again say, for all the ICE facilities throughout the United States or wherever, there will be barriers set up, and there will be certain sections for the protesters where they can do their protest, and it'll also give enough space for the workers to come in and out of the facilities and stuff like that. And if the protesters go beyond those barriers, they will either be put into a federal government prison cell if those protesters are in fact U.S. citizens, and if they are not U.S. citizens, then they will be automatically deported. End of story. And local law enforcement need to work together with ICE agents. They need to do it. We need to work together, and that's it. Not this division constantly. Oh, but anyways, I want to mention to all of my fans out there that for my two shows that I host on Spreaker.com, One is called Super Advocate. The other is called Disabled Reality. For both of those shows, all my fans can go to, because I have a certain website set up for those two shows, in which all my fans can go listen to all the episodes of both of my shows that I host on Spreaker.com. They can listen to all the episodes. Like I said, the title of this website is called Super Advocate. The link to this website is called superadvocate.codeadx.me. You guys go to this website. Again, you can listen to all the episodes of both of my shows that I host on Spreaker.com, in which today I just hosted my show Disabled Reality on there. And on this website, on the specific website, there's a tab on there called promo codes. If you guys click on that tab, you'll see 8 promotions on there. Okay? And for my show Disabled Reality, we support 4 companies. One is called More Labs. The other is called Clear Protein. The other is called Strong Coffee Company. And the other is called Zevo Life. Those 4 companies, I'll repeat them again. More Labs, Clear Protein, Strong Coffee Company, and Zevo Life. Those are the 4 that my show Disabled Reality supports. And you guys can go check them out. These are 4 great companies. They got great products on there, great prices. I highly recommend you guys go check them out, and you guys can shop to your heart's content on there as well. I also want to remind all my fans out there about my other website that I have called Advocate Information Highway. The link to there is AIHNY.com. Again, that's AIHNY.com. You guys can check out all the pages on there, and I just want to mention a few of the pages that are on there. One is my blog page. You guys can check out my blog on there. Another page is my shows page, in which on there as well, you guys can listen to all the episodes of both of my shows that I host on Spreaker.com, and for this show too, for Advocate Information Highway. I wanted to mention that as well. You guys can check all that out as well. And here's another page that's on my website of Advocate Information Highway. Title of this page is called Internet Store on Zazzle. If you guys go to that page, you'll see a link on there. If you guys click on that link, it'll bring you right to my internet store on Zazzle.com, in which you'll see a whole bunch of products that I designed that are up for sale on my internet store on Zazzle.com, and you guys can shop to your heart's content. Another page that's on my website of Advocate Information Highway is bookstore on Amazon. If you guys go to this page, you'll see the links to the 3 books that I wrote and that are up for sale on Amazon.com. You guys can check that out. And there's a whole bunch of other pages on my website of Advocate Information Highway too, and you guys can check all the pages out, like I said. Now, and so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.